Hey everybody, Ruxbox90 here with day 3 of Journey into Nick's spoilers, and today I have been vindicated! Yeah! Ajani, the mentor of heroes, is the green-white planeswalker, so take that, all you people who didn't think that my speculation held any value. We hadn't even seen any preview of that, besides for the green sash on his gown and the multiple artworks, but we have a green-white planeswalker. Heck yeah! Mentor of heroes, 3, a white, and a green, so 5 planeswalker, which you think might make it not standard playable, but let's unveil the card. So first up we got the art. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I have to say, I desperately want a foil of these before they shoot through the roof, or after they shoot through the roof and start coming down a little bit. Which they may not, though, because he is an Ajani Planeswalker. His +1 is, first +1 that is, distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. Wow, that's like a strictly better Ajani Caller of the Pride ability right there. I really like it. It fits his flavor as a mentor of heroes, that he's helping other people. And it's also fantastic if you think about Elspeth being in standard. She makes 3 1/1 soldiers. If you have them both in play, him first then her, +1 on him, they all become bigger, which is fantastic. Then we have his second +1, guys. That's the last time we had something like that. It was Elspeth Nighterrent, and last I checked, she was one of the greatest planeswalkers of all time or something. But anyway, it's a +1. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an aura, creature, or planeswalker. Aura is important because enchantment theme, people. Aura, creature, or planeswalker from among them and put into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. So this is very reminiscent of the card Impulse, but much more flexible in terms of what green-white wants, which is creatures, planeswalkers, and auras, or enchantment creatures. That's a fantastic +1 as a sort ability. It's card advantage, but it also lets you sort your deck, which is fantastic. So, of course, from his 2 first abilities, we don't see any protection of Ajani, which is part of the same problem that Ajani Call of the Pride supposedly had, but in case you guys haven't noticed, Ajani Call of the Pride is actually expensive now and actually good. My guess is this is a supportive card. A lot of people are thinking just from this that it's going to break, be the best planeswalker ever kind of thing, because he starts with 4 loyalty, which we'll get to in a minute. So he's out of burn range. But personally, for me, these 2 abilities are pretty darn awesome. I think overcome that. I'll get back to that in 1 second because you have to look at the ultimate. -8, you gain 100 life. Oh my god. Sorry, this is the second time I'm seeing it. The first time I fell out of my chair laughing. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. -8, you gain 100 life. What? Where? What is that even? I have no idea. It's absolutely hilarious. It's also pretty much bonkers because if you do get his -8 off, not gonna say you win, but it actually is a much more effective win condition than some other planeswalkers. For example, Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Her ultimate's not necessarily a game-ending card emblem. Not exactly game-ending. My 100 life, it puts you out of kill range in almost any standard deck in existence. I mean, anything burn aggro related immediately has no chance because you can't possibly make up the 100 damage without an absolute miracle. In other formats, yeah, there are decks that can do infinite damage. There are decks that can take you down from that 100, but it's very hard. The important thing to mention, though, looking at him in full now because he has 4 loyalty, is that by definition he hits play 5 for 5 loyalty, which is huge. That means, like Johnny Call of the Pride, he's pretty much out of kill range right away. And if you land turn 6, you land an Elspeth, boom, hugeness. I have to say, I think he's absolutely fantastic. In Standard, he's not going to be a deck-defining card. I don't think he's going to be like 4 of in the deck, and then everything else can just be thrown in after him. I think he's a supportive card. He doesn't protect himself, but he works well with synergies. His +1, as we said, works with Elspeth. It works with other creature-based strategies. His other +1 lets you sort through your deck, which is always fantastic, especially in this current meta, because we have planeswalkers, creatures, and auras. And the -8, of course, is hilarious. I think the -8 will be much more effective in EDH Commander, in that that's where it'll probably be the most used. But I could see this happening in Standards. I do think it's possible in control matchups that could definitely be something that actually happens. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I like that he's not broken, but he's very powerful and will definitely be a good supportive card. I'm seeing a 2, maybe 3 of in certain decks. Maybe we can make a Super Friends deck for Standard now. I love him, and I think even in EDH Commander, he definitely has a lot of applications. Overall, I'm just an all-star fan. Crystalline Nautilus, getting to less interesting things. We have a bestow cycle with Crystalline Nautilus, 3 for a 4/4. When it becomes a target of spell or ability, you sacrifice it, and it gives 4+4 and has whatever creature. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. Even on its own, I think this is a card that's very useful in even in limited. 3 for a 4/4 is not bad at all, and the bestow is also very effective for its cost. But I don't really see it, of course, being seeing any play out of limited. It's kind of a mid-range, okay card. Mogus Warhound, 2 for a 2/2, so it's a bear. Tax it turn table, doesn't matter. 2+2. This one actually I think is quite excellent. I think it'll work very well in limited. Definitely fill the curve well. The bestow cost is very reasonable for a 2+2, and I like it a lot. I think it's great. Sage of the Hours as our second mythic. 1 in a blue for a 1/1 human wizard. Heroic whenever you cast a spell that targets it, put a 1+1 counter on it. Remove all 1/1 counters from it. For each 5 counters you remove, take an extra turn. Okay, so I know people have been complaining about this card. I think it's actually quite fun. The heroic part isn't so important. I think once you get 1 counter on it is where it's going to matter in other formats outside of Standard. In EDH Commander, I'm sure there's tons of decks, especially in the Simic colors, that mess around 1/1 counters. I'm sure there'll be a way to put on a bunch of counters, take off a bunch of counters. Increasing Savagery, of course, we remember that card from Innistrad, gives a bunch of counters. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of abuse. I'm sure there's potentially an infinite combo that lets you win, because if you can make counters every turn on him, like 5 counters, then you take extra turn, take infinite turns, and you win the game. I think he's really good. I don't see him immediately becoming a bomb in Standard. I think it'll take a lot of work to make him work in Standard. But I know some people have been talking about him and Vorel of the Coldblade, whatever his name is. I don't think it's going to happen in Standard, personally. It'll take a lot of work to make it happen. But in other formats, especially EDH Commander, I think it'll be fantastic. It might even become a combo deck in Modern. Who knows? Sightless Brawler, 2 for a 3/2, can't attack alone. Okay. And it gets 3+2 for 5. So I don't... The bestow cost, again, I think is a little overpriced. Why it's not 4, I don't know. But 5, I think, is a little bit much. But 2 for a 3/2, even if it can't attack alone, I don't think is terrible. I definitely think it's a fill-in card for the curve unlimited. Spire Spine, 3 for a 4/1, it blocks each turn if able. 4+1 and blocks each turn if able. 4/1, I don't love it. There's nothing else special about it. And I think, yeah, you could trade for something that's much bigger, but it's basically a removal spell on a creature, which I'm not such a fan of. Your opponent's not going to be stupid enough, hopefully, to mess around with that. Then we have the Temple of Epiphany, which I love the art. It just looks stunning. We kind of expected it here. And then we have Temple of Malady. Malady. I have to say I love these 2 arts. I think even better than the other arts. They just look so awesome in terms of the flavor of what they are. Wow, foils are going to look incredible. And then we have one last card. It's called Setessan Tactics. It's in a foreign language, so it's 1 in a green. Strive costs 1 more to cast for each target. Any number of creatures get 1+1 and have gain tap, fight another target creature. I don't love the tap part. I wish it wasn't the tap part, because it is an instant one-time effect. So it'll basically force you can't do it from your attacking creature, unless they have Vigilance or something, which so far not much of the set has. And I think for Heroic, of course, the trigger is very cheap, so it'll actually be effective in that case. Even just giving 1+1 and being able to activate multiple Heroics, I think could be great. The tap will be useful in the right circumstance, but it's such a circumstantial card that I think outside of Limited, it's not really going to be much happening. So anyway, those are the spoilers for today. Ajani looks gorgeous. Sage of the Hours looks a lot of fun. It'll need the right deck to work, though. Everything else is pretty much generic usual. So, of course, let me know what you think about Ajani, Mentor of Heroes, and the rest of these cards down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, tap the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and stay tuned for more Magic the Gathering, Journey into Nyx spoilers coming to you as often as they come out. And as always, Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.